I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomas, and I hope you're looking at us live from indoors and not anywhere on the roads or anywhere outside, because this has been a dreadful day. We're now starting to see the strongest effects from our low pressure system finally coming through in our area. Reason why our school has shut down for the day. Definitely to take those safety precautions from this big low pressure system that has ranged all the way up to New York and even going down into areas of the Gulf. Definitely make sure to be safe out there and stay weather alert. This thing is definitely not over, as the strongest stuff is coming through right now. We'll see this rain starting to die down finally around 1 a.m. It might stick around for a while, especially the wind staying at 14 miles an hour. And those temperatures dipping down into 44 degrees, might even reach maybe 36 into Friday night. But if you look at the rest of the weekend, we are looking mighty great with those sunny conditions and heading up to 72 on Sunday. This is FSU weather, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our show.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
It's been gloomy outside, and now, as Evan just said, we're finally seeing the effects of that cold front moving through our area.
Yeah, all day today it's been pretty gloomy, but just over the past 30 minutes or so, we've really seen things start to pick up here with some storms starting to move through Tallahassee and the rest of the Big Bend region.
I know some of us were texting about it when we first heard that crack of thunder. We were like, we haven't heard thunder in months here in Tallahassee, so it's been a while for us, but it's raining now. There's still some lightning outside. Still not a great time to go outside. I would wait until after 8 o'clock when all those watches are supposed to expire.
And first time we've gotten something like this in a while, but it's really not going to last long. Like you said, going to be out of our region by 8 o'clock. Still going to have some rainy and gloomy conditions, but the worst of it will be done by the time we get to 8 o'clock. So before then, just be sure to stay indoors. Don't go out in the storm if you don't have to. Just take all the proper precautions.
I honestly wouldn't really drive until tomorrow morning too, just in case, trees like to fall down here in Tallahassee when the wind blows too strong, and earlier we had gusts up to 35 miles per hour and down to power lines. Tallahassee loves to lose power really easily, so maybe tomorrow morning go outside and start driving around town, especially if you live in an area with a lot of trees.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to look a lot better once we get past those early morning hours, and much of the southeast is going to look a lot better too. So to get a closer look at the southeast, we're going to send things off to Michael at the wall.
Yeah, thanks, Sloan. Tyler. This is what we've been talking about for the entire day, and throughout our show tonight, this enhanced risk for a lot of the coastal Carolinas and for the North Florida Big Bend region into the Jacksonville region going into the overnight hours. So this is the main story what we're going to talk about, all due to this low pressure system strengthening as it moves up towards the mid-Atlantic. A very strong line of storms moving through the Tallahassee region as we speak. And with that, we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings in the region for us, with the tornado watch in effect for us here in Tallahassee until 8 p.m. and then for areas around Jacksonville up to midnight. But behind this, we've had a lot of rainfall up towards the North Georgia into the southern Appalachians. And all these red you see are flash flood warnings. A lot of rain, at least 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen in these locations. And we still have some pretty major stream, urban flooding and some river flooding in these regions. And that will die down as we go into the overnight hours. But a lot of rain has fallen across portions of Georgia and the Carolinas, and even in North Florida for the course of today. Now the temperatures, you can really notice the cold front with 82 in Jacksonville. Tallahassee right now with that squall line has cooled down to 68, but then right behind it in Nashville, 38 degrees, much cooler condition behind this cold front, and that change in temperature is the reason why we've been having these severe storms. Very strong instability ahead of the system, and that's what's been keeping these storms really intense over the course of today. Also, we have a lot of moisture to work with. You can see ahead of it, dew points in the mid to upper 60s, but right behind it, the cold front has moved through, so dew points are much lower in the 40s and 30s. That dry air is starting to filter in into portions of Alabama and Georgia, and soon into our Tallahassee region as we head into the overnight hours. And so it is very muggy out there. The air has been juiced up for the course of today. You can see very muggy conditions in the state of Florida. But right behind it, in Montgomery and Nashville, much drier conditions in terms of your dew points. Now, the winds ahead of the system, very breezy. It's been very breezy in the Tallahassee region over the course of today, with gusts of up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. And you can notice those northwesterly winds behind the front in Montgomery, Nashville, and Jackson. Now, for the next 24 hours, we will have to monitor the severe weather risk in the coastal Carolinas, as well as the northeast Florida along the first coast with that tornado watch until midnight. But then that line of storm does move down into Miami. We can also notice it's cold enough, and we still have some wraparound moisture around that low to get some snow showers up towards Nashville and some flurries as far south as Metro Atlanta for tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind if you're heading out for your morning commute. Much cooler conditions expected for your Friday morning. And then those skies will clear as we head over the course of your Friday into Friday evening. For tonight's forecast, you'll have the storms early in Tallahassee and into the overnight hours in Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa and Charleston. But then the much colder air filters in behind it with 30s in Alabama and Tennessee and 40s in the Florida Panhandle with 50s down towards north central Florida. And then for tomorrow, the sky is clear with some lingering clouds in the southern Appalachians still, but much better conditions, much less humid, and much drier with sunny skies and temperatures in the 50s to low to mid 60s across the Gulf Coast region into southern Florida. Now we're going to send it off to Parker with a look at what's happening here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. We're going to take a look at the local forecast right now. The SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, has put out their regional forecast for the next few days. This is actually for today, as we're getting our camera adjusted right here. Tallahassee's sitting right there in the middle, smack dab in the middle, with an enhanced risk. That's a 3 out of 5 on the index. Parts of Gainesville near Jacksonville, if we look here and we go all the way down from about right here southward, they're sitting at a slight threat for severe weather and for thunderstorms within the next couple of hours. And just to the north of us in the green areas, those are where the thunderstorms have gone and where they have passed. We're looking at a few severe thunderstorm warnings right now in Leon, Wakulla County, and just east of us and towards Madison County. These expire around the 6:30 mark, and just north of us, those expire around 6:45 this afternoon. So keep in touch for that, as we could have multiple more severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the evening. There goes a bolt of lightning as we're talking right now. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in orange and then a tornado watch in yellow. Pardon the confusion for the colors there. Yellow is actually a tornado watch, and that extends all the way up into the Carolinas. Here's all of that lightning that we're seeing and that we're hearing in the studio right now as we're talking. Just bolts coming down left and right. Some heavy, heavy rain coming out at about 3 to 4 inches per hour. This stuff will continue for the next couple of hours around the 10 to 11 o'clock hour, and then hopefully expiring around 1 a.m. tonight. Temperatures across the Big Bend region right now, 68 in Tallahassee, 66 in St. Marks. Everywhere across the map, getting rain though. Lots of lightning, lots of rain, even some embedded hailstones in there in some spots. 73 degrees for your dew point in Perry, 67 in Valdosta, 64 in Donaldsonville. These dew points are really what's driving all of this thunderstorm activity, all the moisture from the Gulf being lifted up from the southerly flow of winds. And here's that muggy meter for you. We got, whoop, we're feeling, oop, all around because, it's raining. We're shocked that we're getting this type of weather right now. We haven't seen this in a couple of months like we've been talking about. So we heard that first strike of lightning earlier followed by thunder, and we were all shocked. The front's here, it's coming through, and it's impacting us right now. Wind speeds coming from the south, 11 miles per hour in St. Marks, 10 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, and straight out of the west in Apalachicola. But over the next 24 hours, the rain comes in and moves out, and then we're clear. Look at this. We're all clear. We got a few partly cloudy conditions, spotted showers here and there overnight, but Friday, 8 a.m., we're clear. We're all in the clear. So for the next 24 hours, we're going to rinse and repeat, a few spotted showers here and there, but by tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be all clear. For tonight, though, 41 in Tallahassee, 43 in St. Marks, and around the 40s degree mark for much of the Big Bend region. As for tomorrow, temperatures Going to be spiking near the upper to mid 50s, 57 here in the state capital, 55 in Monticello, 59 in Perry, and 52 in Thomasville. If you take a look at your 7-day forecast, Friday, looking at a beautiful 58 degrees, followed by a beautiful weekend ahead, 68 degrees for Saturday, 72 for Sunday with partly cloudy conditions. And then the work week looks just like we've seen for the past few weeks here in Tallahassee. We're going to continue that tradition with partly cloudy conditions with a peak of sun rays here and there, temperatures in the mid-70s, and a few rain chances later on in the week. But for a look at weather history, we're going to send things to the desk with Chris and Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Parker. And as you can hear the rain pelting behind us and the thunder roaring, we do have some interesting weather history for today, locally here in Tallahassee and as well as across the nation. And of course, for here in Tallahassee, it has to deal with thunderstorm and severe weather from the past few years.
Yeah. Way back in 1975, there was an F2 tornado that went through downtown that caused $1 million worth of damage.
Yeah, it went through downtown Mayo, which is just a little west of us here in Tallahassee, around Liberty County. And the same thing happened in 2004, but up in Alabama, in Ozark, Alabama. And the local airfield there called Cairns Airfield actually got a max wind speed of 70 miles per hour from that severe thunderstorm.
Yeah. And there was 2008, there was a line of thunderstorms that produced damaging winds in south central Georgia, causing $15,000 worth of wind damage.
Yeah, it can be pretty intense, some of these thunderstorms, but it's February, and so with that, you also expect some winter weather up towards the northern U.S., and we actually got that in the mid-Atlantic in 2010, where a major blizzard struck the D.C. area as well as across Maryland and West Virginia, with some locations receiving up to 2 to 3 feet of snow, and the D.C. area receiving 1.5 feet. And then 5 days later, they got another blizzard. So 2010 was a really active winter storm season up toward the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast.
Yeah, I personally do remember that. I'm from Northern Virginia. I remember that blizzard. I remember after we finally cleared out all the snow, riding some skateboards into the snowbanks and flipping off over into the snow with my brother. But for now, we're going to pass things off to the wall with Jonathan with a look at our national.
All right, thanks, guys. So speaking of weather history, these and the dynamic weather system we have going across the country at the moment, record highs in the United States today, high of 86 in Immokalee and Ochopee, Florida, and then low of negative 27 degrees Fahrenheit in Angel Fire, New Mexico. I mean, normally when you think of New Mexico, you're thinking of a hot, dry desert, but this was up in the Rockies. So looking across the satellite and radar across the entire country, we're sort of dominated by two features right now. We have this cold front and low pressure system stretching all the way from the northeast down past Tallahassee. In Tallahassee right now, we do have those storms caused by this cold front currently on top of us. And then we have this high pressure system situated over Colorado. And these two systems are sort of producing the majority of the weather across the country. Where you have that high pressure system, you have very clear conditions, whereas the southern end of the front has an enhanced risk for severe weather stretching from the Gulf Coast all the way up through the Carolinas and into Norfolk, Virginia. And the storms are seen all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the same cities. There have been tornado watches issued from the coast all the way up through there today. But notice along with these severe thunderstorms, we have on the backside of the system, we sort of have some snow and some mixed precipitation going through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast. But where that high pressure system is, we are sort of dominated by clear conditions. And when that high pressure system takes the place behind this cold front system, we're going to get those clear conditions that Parker mentioned in Tallahassee over the weekend. Looking at temperatures across the country, it is very clear where that cold front moved through earlier today, as the difference in temperature between Atlanta and Memphis, the cold front is currently in between the two. It goes from 61 to 36, and that is quite a big change. So while we are still in the 70s and 80s in the southern portion of Florida, that is going to change when the cold front moves through. And you can also see this in the dew point, whereas for this time of year, dew points in these low ranges are very common. Winter is typically the dry season Whereas we have this tropical air mass in place across the southeast, and that cold front is going to sort of extinguish that air mass. You can also tell where the cold front is based on the wind speed and direction. Southerly flow where the cold front has not passed through, and then the northerly flow with the cold air seeping in behind that cold front. But over the next 48 hours, the big feature is this cold front moving in, as well as some backsided snow showers that might come in. They might sweep through the Tennessee Valley and through the Ohio River Valley tomorrow morning. Not very many impacts expected because conditions have been so warm this February, but we'll have to keep our eye out on that as we go into the next few hours. But for tonight's forecast, once that cold front gets past you, you are going to be in those cold February temperatures. 29 in Memphis, 39 in New Orleans. Tallahassee, we're going to get down to 41 tonight. And then moving into tomorrow, when that cold front really starts to push through the entire state, temperatures are going to be much more seasonal, whereas in Tallahassee we'll be at 57. And for more of a look on that, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off onto Tyler.
Thank you, Jonathan. I can hear the wind outside roaring right now in the studio, really quite eerie as these storms start to move through our region. Really, we've seen a lot of the worst stuff, but we're still right in the middle of it, and we're really going to be seeing a lot of heavy rainfall and high winds over the next 2 hours. So as we get past 8 o'clock, things are going to start to clear up a little bit, but the lightning is still a threat here, and so are the wind speeds. Right now, we have a temperature of 69 degrees here in Tallahassee, 70 degrees in Monticello. You can see the contrast of temperature in between the western parts of the Big Bend and the eastern parts, really showing where most of that rainfall has been to help cool things off. As we move towards the west, Donaldsonville has a temperature of 64 degrees right now. And dew points really show the same story. Those dew points are starting to drop as the rain's starting to move out of these western regions. They're going to get a little bit more comfortable as the rain moves out and those muggy conditions and high temperatures start to drop. And the muggy meter really shows just that. I can't do it as well as Parker, but really these humid conditions going to persist here in the east as long as that rain continues to move through. But as it moves out, once again, going to get much better for us, but really not going to see the rain completely move out until tomorrow morning. As for our wind speeds, Tallahassee at 16 miles per hour right now, but I can tell you that there are some gusts out there going much faster than that. Quincy coming out of the west at 12 miles per hour, and Perry 24 miles per hour right now. So those are really the highest wind speeds in those eastern portions of the Big Bend. Over the next 24 hours, you're going to see the rain really move out fairly quickly, and as we get into Friday morning, not anything to speak of with regards to rain or cloud cover. Really going to be an absolutely beautiful Friday evening. So for tonight, be sure to stay in. You can go along with your plans tomorrow. It's going to be a much better evening for everyone. We're going to get down to 44 degrees tonight. Most of that heavy rainfall going to be clearing after 1 a.m. Still going to see some light rainfall until we get around those 7, 8 a.m. hours tomorrow. And wind speeds 14 miles per hour tonight, still coming out of the west. And then our high temperature going to be 58 degrees tomorrow. That cold front associated with this rainfall going to move through and really drop those temperatures, going to make things much more comfortable. Still going to be quite a breezy afternoon with winds coming in around 12 miles per hour. Taking a look at the rest of our week, Saturday going to heat up quite a bit after the cold front really makes its way through the region, and we get some more sunshine to get things heated up. And Sunday going to get up to 72 degrees. And as we look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to get back into the 70s with those rain chances returning on Wednesday and Thursday. But now I'm going to pass things off to the desk with Jonathan and Evan.
So we wanted to go ahead and take this moment to sort of go through the plethora of warnings we have in the area. As you can hear outside right now, we have quite the dynamic storm system moving through. So probably the biggest impact warning we have right now is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for the city of Tallahassee and the counties east of us until 7 p.m. And that warning has winds of up to 60 miles per hour, a little bit of hail, and a possible tornado. And we do want to remind our viewers that we have a tornado watch in effect.
Yes, absolutely. And that lasts until 8 p.m. All the way throughout the area. If you happen to be traveling, please stay indoors and definitely stay safe and be weather alert. Listen to your local news station. Definitely, it's going to be, as much as you think, even if you're on the west side that it's over, it's definitely still not over.
And then even once this main punch of the lines moves through, we do have a wind advisory in effect, and that is for wind gusts not associated with thunderstorms up to 45 miles per hour. And when you have soggy soil plus these dynamic winds, something can sort of So it can cause some havoc on the trees.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with those 45, 60-mile-an-hour winds even reaching all the way through those trees for so much amount of the time for today, honestly.
Yeah,
It's been
so the trees have
constant
taken
throughout the
quite a
day.
battering today. If you're out driving, if you do need to go somewhere in the case of emergency, please be careful and make sure that there are no downed trees in the road. And then another thing that we have going on are flash flood watches. A characteristic of this system is that we've had a lot of rain lingering on behind the main line of storms, and at that point, that causes ponding of water in the roads and then flash flooding.
We always say stop, don't drown. Definitely make sure that you are weather aware with how deep you're going. Your car, hopefully your car is safe. Definitely, if you happen to be traveling through these roads during this time, just make sure you have everything and take the most precautionary measures that you
Yeah, even if you do drive a lifted vehicle, we want to remind our viewers to turn around, don't drown. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off for a look around Florida with Chris.
Thank you, Jonathan. As you see, right now, there's this massive frontal system that is pushing through our area that's giving us heavy rain right now, tons of lightning, tons of thunder, and it is really not a great time to be outside or want to go outside. As time goes on, this frontal system will be pushing through all of Florida, as right now we're going to take a closer look at the panhandle. You can see on the western end, it's sort of closing off a little bit. You still have some less severe rainstorms going on right now, but as we start moving further and further east, you can see this long line of thunderstorms. All those little lightning bolts are going to be moving in through the area. There's heavy wind speeds, heavy rain. It's not looking too good. As we move in towards Jacksonville, it's looking not too bad right now, but as time goes on, you can see that front sort of creeping in. Is going to be bringing you your share of the heavy rain and lightning storms. So we zoom out towards South Florida. You can see later on in the Gulf, this frontal system will still be eventually pushing its way towards you. And right now, I would recommend wrapping up any outdoor activities you have plans, because of when that front hits, you don't want to be outside, you want to be inside, staying safe. On our temperature map, you can see how strong this cold front is by just this gradient between, it's 82 degrees in Jacksonville, where the front is already past in Pensacola, it's dropped down all the way down to 58 degrees. And that's really cooling down environment. You can see where the front has hit and where it hasn't hit, also based off our dew points, as the dew point is only at 55 degrees in Pensacola, whereas everywhere else in Florida, it's very moist, as indicated by our muggy meter. Pensacola, you're feeling fairly dry, pretty happy. The rest of us were shocked because of this thunderstorm and massive frontal systems coming in, but it's also really muggy. On the bright side, after the storm ends, you are going to be feeling a lot better. On our wind speed in direction where the front is coming in, it's pushing its way in, and we do have this southerly flow that is bringing a lot of moisture in. However, those winds will change when the front moves on in. Over the next 24 hours, you can see this front sort of push its way down in throughout all of Florida, and it will shape up to be looking like a great Friday afternoon and a fantastic start to our weekend. For tonight's forecast, though, it is stormy. You want to be staying inside, getting some studying done. I know it's only early February, but midterms are coming up, and you don't want to be caught off guard by them. Tomorrow's forecast, though, it's Friday. It's going to be a great time to probably go out, have some fun, make up for any lost chances for outdoor activities on Thursday, because it's shaping up to be a fantastic Friday throughout Florida. But for now, I'm going to hand things off to local, to Evan.
I'm doing the lifestyle, but it's okay. And really, there's not much lifestyle to be speaking of right now, especially across the Tallahassee area, especially since campus has been deserted ever since 12:15, when classes were closed earlier today, for this weather system to make its way through, and really just muggy and ew all throughout the camera as you see outside. So you can expect we do have those travels delays for you throughout the Tallahassee International Airport. Definitely rain and 69 degrees. Definitely expect delays if you happen to be traveling at all down there or picking up people coming in at all. So definitely expect those delays with it being both rainy and windy, which is going to be hard to land that plane indefinitely. As for other areas, we're looking at delays, especially in the northeast and areas of Atlanta. Definitely hitting the rain and the precipitation chances all throughout the night. JFK is sticking down to 40 degrees and definitely having the most delays in that area. But come basketball time, come Saturday, we will definitely have a great one for you. 68 degrees and sunny skies. Pack the tug. No really excuse to not get outside that day on Saturday. Should be absolutely beautiful. As well as tomorrow, especially heading into the evening, 50 degrees and only cooling down to just 3 more less degrees at 47. Clear skies. Maybe just bring definitely a good jacket to enjoy a great softball game. If you happen hopping over to the res, it'll be 68 as well on Saturday. That water might be a little too cool for you, but definitely the tanning spots on the beach will definitely be great activity planner definitely throughout the day on that day. So definitely very cooler after this cold front gets through into tomorrow with the high only being 58. Low tonight getting down to 44, so definitely want to make sure you get those coats back out, especially when it heads down to 36. Heading into areas of Friday night. But time coming up on Sunday, we'll get up to those temperatures hitting around 72 degrees and back to more spring Florida weather back for us. Right, Sloan?
Right. We're going to cool off just to warm back up. And if we take a look at our temperature almanac today, we were above average, 77 degrees as our high today. It's very warm, especially for February, shy of our record of 83, and even our low was warm too at 68. Here's the big story that we've been talking about all day, a shower of storms moving through the area, severe thunderstorms that we've been hearing the thunder, seeing the lightning, and even hearing the winds howl outside, because we're at a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather today, which means that scattered severe thunderstorms are possible, and we have been seeing that. Gusty winds and straight line wind damage are our biggest threats here in Tallahassee, but a tornado really cannot be ruled out. I would also keep an eye out for localized heavy rainfall, as low level lying areas will flood first. We are under that tornado watch until about 8 p.m. this evening, with a severe thunderstorm warning in effect a little east of us, which is expiring after 6:30. Temperature-wise, still feeling warm. It's feeling muggy outside too. Not a clear sky in sight though for the Big Bend. Again, 69 in Tallahassee, 64 in Quincy, and 66 down there at Apalachicola. And then these southerly winds have been bringing a lot of Gulf moisture into our area, which is Parker says what's helping cause these thunderstorms to occur. 67 in Tallahassee, 70 in Monticello, and then 65 in Carabel. And these are those southerly winds that we have been talking about. But as that front began to move through the Big Bend, we've been seeing a wind shift occurring as the front moved through, causing westerly winds to come into place, which will open us up for high pressure to move into the Big Bend over the next 24 hours, which is what we're seeing here. Some lingering showers and storms after the front moves through, but then clearing up. Friday is going to be a gorgeous day outside, clear skies in sight. Tonight, though, rain and storms till about 1 a.m., so don't go outside yet. Save your errands and stuff for the morning. It'll just be safer in case there's any down power lines or trees on your commute. But tonight, 43 in St. Mark's, 41 in Monticello, and 41 in Tallahassee. Tomorrow, cooler than today by about 20 degrees for our high. And look, the sun is out in the Big Bend. It is beautiful outside. For our next 7 days, there's a gorgeous weekend in sight for us, warming up into the 70s. Again, Saturday's be a great day for a win at the Civic Center as men's basketball takes on Miami. And then clouds start to come back into our picture in the beginning of the school week. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, some rain chances come back too, but we're still in the mid-70s, which means that might feel a bit more muggy outside next week too. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to the desk with Tyler and Parker.
Thank you, Sloan. So yeah, I mean, the weekend looks beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Once we get past these next couple hours here through the night, really nothing to really worry about at all. No cloud cover, cooler temperatures with the sun still out. We'll see those temperatures start to pick up as we go throughout the week, but really a great weekend overall.
Yeah, we're waking up with 44 degrees as our low for tomorrow morning. And, we're capping off in around the mid-50s for much of the Big Bend region. But like you said, that sun will start to come out, and for the weekend, we'll heat back up again like we've been seeing recently.
And then as we get to next week, throughout the work week, really you might be starting to see some early spring-like conditions here in Tallahassee with those temperatures getting back to the mid-70s, cloudy conditions, and even on Wednesday and Thursday, seeing those rain chances come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I know here in Tallahassee, we've had almost seasonal weather. It's been kind of iffy, but today is more like wintry weather and early February weather. I know folks down in Orlando and parts of Miami, they've been seeing near record-breaking temperatures in the upper 80s in the second week of February, which is crazy. So this cold front will definitely be beneficial towards them and other parts of Florida as well.
Yeah, it really seems like even these days, even during the winter, you don't really get much of a break from the heat in Central and South Florida. I've noticed that every time I've gone back home. So really, sometimes it's hard to deal with the cold, but we have to remember in North Florida, I mean, we're kind of lucky. We actually get some different seasons around here and not just 80s all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, but you can go ahead and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
And then also be sure to like us on facebook.com/FSU weather as well.
And you can go ahead and watch us live every weeknight at 6 p.m. on youtube.com/FSU weather.
And then if you follow us on Instagram at FSU weather, you can see all of the pictures that we've posted over the past couple of months and even before that of all the different weather we've seen here in Tallahassee and beyond.
Absolutely. And don't be shy to send us your pictures. Feel free to send them our way, and we're cut off, I think. Nice. Camera just went black.